What's up guys, Zach from Meyer Customs, and today I'm going to show you how to rebuild a Flathead fuel pump. Alright, so what I'm showing you today is the earlier Flathead fuel pump. It's the non-sediment bowl type. Here's the later ones, the sediment bowl type. This rebuild kit video is actually going to work for both because the rebuild kits are exactly the same except for this top gasket right here and the top screen. Outside from that, everything else is exactly the same. Alright, just for clarification, I already took this completely apart once to make sure it was worth rebuilding first. Then I ordered my rebuild kit. Here's the rebuild kit that I'm using. The part number 11A9349 and it's from Eckler. You can look them up online. Now the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take this top cover off. So unscrew this bolt right here. It's probably going to be stuck to a gasket, so pop it loose. Once it comes off, there's going to be a quart gasket right here on both sides. Then you can take the screen off. This screen will be different on the later pumps, so make sure you know which one you have. Make sure you order the correct rebuild kit. After I get that screen off, I'm going to take these 6 screws out and I'm going to take my bleeder valve off right here. So bleeder valve, don't lose the spring on it. Take the spring off. Then I'm going to take these 6 screws off. Now when you get to the last screw, don't take it all the way out. The gasket's probably stuck on this. Give a little love tap until the spring opens it up. This housing is going to be under pressure from the spring on the inside. So be careful of taking the last screw out. Mine's already broken loose, so I'm going to take this all the way out. Get this pump apart. Separate the 2 housings. There's the upper housing with the check valve. Here's a bladder. This is the bladder that actually creates the pressure. Now the only thing holding this bladder in is this arm right here on the bottom. I'll show you on my rebuild kit. So here's my new arm in the rebuild kit. On the inside of this housing, here's the bladder. You can see the notch right here. This hook is hooked to the notch and the spring's pushing it up. So you can kind of see how that hooks in. What we have to do is push this bladder down to relieve the tension on that hook and pull it out of that notch. So that's what I'm going to do. So what we need to do is hit this pin out right here. You can see I already knocked it out. So I took this apart to make sure everything was worthwhile. But be careful, try not to ruin the housing when you're knocking this out. There's that pin. So now I'm going to push this down. I'm going to push the arm down and get our spring out. Okay. Now the only thing that's holding this arm in is the bladder and the hook on the bottom of the bladder. So now that you know what that looks like, we're going to do this little struggle. This is actually kind of annoying to take apart. You're going to compress it down to release that hook pressure. And we need to wiggle this until it actually comes unhooked. Okay, so there's that hook piece that we were fighting. Now we can let up on this and take the bladder out, take the spring out. Highly recommend do not reuse either one of these. Set it to the side. Now what we have left is our pressure regulator and our check valve up in the top part of this casing. So go ahead and take those out with these 2 flathead screws right here. Now before you take these out, make a good mental note of where they were. Technically they're both just check valves, but the way that they work together kind of regulates the pressure. Now if I hold these here and I flip it up, you can see where my outlets are in reference to which one is which one's up and which one's down. So if you're doing the fuel bowl, if you're doing the one with the sediment bowl on it, definitely slow down and check your reference right here before you take it apart. Now that I got those out, make sure you take the seal out on the inside. And now it's time to clean our housings really well. I'm just going to brush mine down and clean it with carb cleaner. Alright, so I got both of my housings clean, carb cleaner and brass brush. Got everything cleaned up and ready to go, and I got my new parts sitting here. Okay, so now we're going to start with the gaskets, the two check valves. Okay, the gaskets in. Make sure your surface is really clean before doing so. Okay, push them down flush onto the surface. And I left these old check valves sitting here so I know which way to put them in. So with the two outlets facing me, the one in the back goes up. And the one in the front goes down. So this retainer here has a little arch in it. The arch goes down, as in the arch goes into our check valves. Kind of turns it into a spring and has like spring tension on top of both check valves. So I want to finish putting together the top housing, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my screen. So I got two gaskets in my screen. And I like to put the other gasket up in here to make sure it sits nice and flat in the cap. Then before I smush it down, I try to check the gasket all the way around to make sure it's pretty even and not sitting crooked. So I want a nice good seal on this. This is actually where the pressure of the fuel is going to be. So the gasket looks good. Now this top screw, it has to have some type of pipe sealer on it. Me personally, I like the tape style. So put a good amount of tape sealer on it. And this bolt actually needs a gasket on top. Now what I do is I actually buy the kits for the bowl type pumps. They're not going to come with this gasket that comes up here. This is a generic gasket out of a carb kit. So it is a fuel capable gasket. So I'm going to put that on here and screw it down. Now I need to go and put in my bleeder valve and spring. So here's the old bleeder valve and spring. Goes right here. Now this should be a machine fit in there, so it shouldn't need any sealers. When it's all the way down, it's completely tight, machine fit, then that's the little bleeder hole right here. So if I were to back it out while the engine's running, you should get gas of this little tiny hole right here on the side. Now that's the upper all the way together. Now we're going to put the lower together. Alright, so this is a tad bit tricky, but not that complicated. I'm going to get out some wheel bearing grease, because this lower portion down here doesn't see any engine oil at all. So I like to grease one or two little contact points. The littlest amount of grease I'm going to put right here in this little hole where this is going to rub up and down as it's running. I just wanted to get in that hole so that hook is actually somewhat lubricated when it's going up and down. And just for good measure, this little notch right here is the back. So I like to line it up with that. Okay? This notch also lets you know where the hole is. So when you go to hook this in here, you want to be hooking it in this little notch side. So set that on here, line up the holes. Now for some reason, if this fell apart on you, or if it came apart in the little kit, I'd call this circle part the plunger. Obviously this is the hook part. The plunger and the hook face the same direction. The plunger is going to face down, so that means the hook also has to face down. Now this is all going to rock back and forth inside the aluminum housing, so you definitely want to put some wheel bearing grease on this. Now as far as this end, you want to put some type of oil that actually can get into the engine, because it could run off of this. So I'm not going to put wheel bearing grease on this. I'm going to put engine assembly lube right here in this hole after I'm done putting this together. Okay, now that I got nice and lubed up, I'm going to get my spring, my new spring, and set that in here. Line the notch up towards the back. Set this down on the spring. And make sure I don't get any lube on this bladder, so I need to wipe that off right there. Make sure your hands are clean when you grab this bladder. And I'm going to compress this and try to get this to hook up into that little slot on the plunger. Yahtzee. Okay, here's the fun part. Compressing this down, looking through this hole, and lining everything up together. So I'm going to do a little punch through trick. I'm going to get everything lined up with the punch that's slightly smaller. Have the punch actually hold it. Then I'm going to hit the punch out with the actual pin while everything's lining up. See how the punch is holding it as if it was actually together. And you can see how this plunger actually works the bladder. That's what gives you your fuel pressure. Alright, it's almost all the way through, so I'm going to finish it off with my punch. Okay, now the next part, we need to take it easy by putting on the cover, putting the top back on. Now both inlet and outlet is the opposite side, obviously away from the back of the pump, just like this. And now when we put this on and get our bolts started, be very careful, make sure all the holes are lined up just right. Because when you're actually bolting this down tight, you don't want to smash this or fold this bladder at all. It'll be completely ruined once you bolt it down. So take your time, give yourself a little bit of patience right here. Okay, so get all the bolts started before you actually tighten anything up. Once you have them all started, take it down really slowly. Don't screw one down all the way. Take it down really slowly. And make sure the gasket isn't actually folding up on you anywhere as you're tightening it down. Voila. Okay, now that's all prettified. Last step is go ahead and put the spring back in for the return. Just compress it down, get it onto that hook in there. Just like that. Now we got a brand new fuel pump. And there you have it, fully rebuilt fuel pump. And it didn't even take that long. Now, truth be known, a good fuel pump repair kit is 30 to 40 bucks. A brand new fuel pump from Speedway is about $50. But there's just something about running this original fuel pump that was built in 1939 when Henry Ford was still alive. That's way cooler than any new fuel pump. As always, thank you for watching. Get your shit together.